Hey there, YouTube. Hope you've all been having a wonderful week so far. It's been gorgeous here, absolutely beautiful weather. A little bit warmer than I like this time of year, but can't really complain. I've been listening to, I think I've mentioned it before. Once I start listening to a podcast, I'll tend to mention it a number of times. I've been listening to The Proof with Simon Hill. Really good podcast. He goes very in depth, shares a lot of studies and what have you. I think he's got a book. I think his website is plantproof.com. I haven't really checked it out, but I understand that there's a lot of information on there as well. Was listening to an older talk the other day he was having with Dr. Joel Fuhrman, and that kind of got me listening to some various podcasts where Dr. Fuhrman was the guest as well. And also too, if I mention some of these, all you've got to do, like I use Apple, so wherever you go for your podcast, just go to your podcast app and you can just search like The Proof, Dr. Joel Fuhrman, and it'll generally give you the option. It'll pop up that particular episode. But I just thought I'd share these in general with you, but I really encourage you to go do your own research and do a little bit deeper dive into these. Go hit Google, for getting more details on it, or do what I've gotten to where I like to do. I do a lot of my research searching, looking around with Chat GPT these days, and I'm just on the free version, but it just gives you a lot of information very quickly, and a lot of times it's easier than just Googling individual things. So just some of the things that I recommend, that they recommend that you consume regularly, daily, and a lot of them I do consume daily. You can go look up the particular benefits, but I'll just kind of go through them. Here they are. Berries, polyphenols. That's something else too. If you want to go to that podcast or go listen to some podcasts on polyphenols and how beneficial they are to us. Especially in berries, they help reduce oxidative stress and inflammation. I think berries are probably one of the most nutrient-rich foods on the planet. Apples, they contain flavonoids, citrus, green tea. I don't really consume a lot of caffeine. I'm open to having some green tea. I might get some matcha sometime, but the green tea is supposed to have some really good compounds in there as well. Nuts. In addition to the polyphenol, they offer us healthy fats, they offer us fiber and other nutrients. One of the biggest ones on that is the walnuts for brain health, omega-3s. That's something else that I've been focusing on a little bit more recently. I'm just learning more about, but especially those walnuts, a good source of omega-3s. And when I'm talking about nuts, and when I'm talking about some of these things that people tend to be scared of, I'm not talking about quantities. I'm not talking about sitting there and just scarfing them down. I'm talking about you can chop up some walnuts and just put them on your salad, and it's usually a very small amount that fits in the palm of your hand without touching your fingers. I mean, just a very small amount. Legumes, beans, peas, not pulses, I'm thinking of something else, but beans and peas, and spices and herbs. Now, out of those, I have berries very often. I do need to mix up my berries, though. Like, I can get a little bit boring and just get a big bag of the frozen blueberries, whereas I should probably be mixing it up a little bit more. It'll be nice when I was getting fresh blueberries for a while, but with the time of the year they've kind of gone away. So the blueberries are really good, but there's so many other berries out there that are very beneficial as well. I think elderberries are supposedly very, very high in these polyphenols. The nuts, I don't eat them as much. Like I say, I've gotten to a point with nuts where I use them very strategically. I just use them like I'm talking about here, more for the health benefits. I just don't have that taste to sit around and chew on them anymore. Citrus, I do have citrus quite often. Legumes, I have legumes every day, pretty much every day. Sometimes I'll miss a day. And the spices and herbs. I try to use those all the time in the raw food and in the cooking. Now, another one that came up, and I'll be kind of quick with these, or Dr. Joel. These are real interesting, and you can go Google this particular term too. Dr. Joel Fuhrman's G bombs, like bombs, like boof. They're anti-cancer foods to include in your diet, and I'm happy to say I eat a lot of these on a regular basis. Greens, beans, legumes. Once again, there's a little crossover there. Onions. I know some people in the raw community, they won't touch those onions, but the onions are very good for cancer fighting and just making our cells healthier. Mushrooms. I don't eat as many mushrooms as I don't. In fact, I don't eat mushrooms all that often. I may start remedying that a little bit, throwing them in my salad or just cooking them lightly to include with other dishes. Berries again, a little bit of that crossover, and seeds. Like the flax seeds, the chia seeds, all those seeds are just so beneficial for us. I generally stick to, I use a lot of flax seed. Another good one for omega-3s. I use a good bit of chia seeds. I don't use as much hemp seed as I used to because hemp seed has just like increasingly got more and more and more expensive. So kind of cut back on those because the flaxseed is better profile for the omega-3s, as are the chia seeds, and the chia seeds are good for calcium as well. So both of those seeds are a lot cheaper for me to use than the hemp seed. But yeah, I was looking at this as I was making some notes, and I was listening to these, and I was thinking to myself as I was listening, I'm like, yeah, I include a lot of these things on a regular basis. And the ones that I don't, I think I'll probably up them a little bit more. But it's always just kind of filling in the gaps. And as I always say, this is just for information for people that want it. I'm not trying to recruit people. I know there's a lot of people that are anti-plant-based diet out there, and they'll tell you, I don't eat that, I eat this. Go ahead on with your bad self. I don't care what you eat. Nothing you consume affects me in any way whatsoever. The only thing I could say, and this is about information all across the board, don't be consuming content that is not of interest to you. Go consume content that you believe in, that you're interested in, because that's just kind of a big waste of time. But anyhow, I'll end it there, and I hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. Have a beautiful rest of your week, and I probably have another video, maybe two, coming. Peace.